Fairies love lemonade. In a magical land so bright and serene, where rivers run blue and the flowers gleam green, lived fairies enchanting, so gentle, so spry, with laughter and mischief, they'd dance and they'd fly. One fairy adored planting blooms all around, another with paints made her art so renowned. One cared for the creatures both feathered and furred, another wrote songs with the loveliest words. Some loved to cook, some preferred weaving threads, some built grand castles where dreams softly tread. Others picked berries in forests of gold, or tended vast gardens with wonders untold. Some fairies crafted the ships of the air, balloons and great vessels designed with such care. Others spun clay on a potter's swift wheel, or baked up sweet treats in their shops of good cheer. This land had its cities, its villages too, each fairy a wonder with talents so true. They savored fine dishes, nectar in bloom, apples and honey, the scent would perfume. Milk and ripe grapes on their tables were laid, but their favorite of all, lemonade freshly made.
In the forest by the bog, where the willows gently nod, stands a tiny house so white. Froglets live there with delight. Papa Frog, the quickest one, calls out loudly in the sun, "Hey there, Mama, time to go. Line them up now, nice and slow, one by one and side by side. Time to stretch and jump with pride." Froglets hop in cheerful rows, wiggle fingers, touch their toes, left leg out and right leg in, hop and squat with happy grins. Turn your heads from side to side, to the pond now splash and slide, jumping, diving all around, making waves without a sound. Healthy froglets, strong and bright, exercise from morning light. Leave your laziness indoors, come do stretches, leap outdoors.
Bunny in the Umbrella by Olga Kobylska. Hop hop, Bunny's on his way. Drip drop, raindrops start to play. To keep his ears all warm and dry, he grabbed an umbrella, held it high. Flish splash, a stream began to flow. Bunny jumped, onto a stump he'd go. Though thunder roared and rumbled wide, his paws stayed dry, his face was bright. Chirp chirp, a sparrow found a tree. Bits bits bits, a bee said, "Shelter me." Bunny walked on so proud and true, saving friends from raindrops too. What bunnies can do. It was a sunny summer day. On a forest clearing, a group of little bunnies gathered. At first they played ball, and then they decided to see who was the best at different skills. A bunny with white ears spoke up, "I can jump really, really high. Who wants to try with me?" Nearby stood an apple tree with sweet red apples hanging at the very top. "Who can reach them? Let's start." The bunnies took turns jumping, trying to grab the highest apple. Suddenly the white-eared bunny leaped, hop, and caught the red apple in its tiny paws. "Bravo!" The friends clapped. "You're a true champion. Who can jump the farthest? Let's race." The bunnies ran and leaped across the grass. The winner was a bunny with a gray spot on its right paw. And was the fastest runner? Let's find out. The first to reach the pear tree at the crossroads wins. Ready, set, go. With cheerful squeals, the bunnies lined up and raced to the pear tree. "I'm first!" Shout Ida Bunny Girl, who outran everyone else. The others had to admit she was the fastest at long-distance running. "Let's jump over obstacles," suggest Ida Bunny with gray ears. "Whoever touches the spruce branch with their paw loses." At first they jumped one by one and the bunny girl won again. Then they paired up holding paws and jumped together. Tired, the bunnies lay down on the grass to rest. Know how to grow carrots. Sighed a bunny with a red nose. I can count to 100. Added another. Know riddles, want to guess them? Of course. Ask away. The bunnies played on the clearing until they got hungry. Turned out that each bunny was the best at something special. How Bunny Played with Paints by Olga Kobylska. When winter ruled and snow lay deep, a snowy canvas, white and steep, a playful bunny full of cheer brought his paints and hopped up near. He thought, I'll paint the forest bright and fill the world with colors light. With green he brushed the oaks so tall their leaves grew fresh, no cold at all. With blue, beneath the trees so wide, sparkling gems woke up with pride. A rosy hue, dawn's gentle light broke through the dark of starry night. The golden sun then sent its rays, smiling through the cloudy haze. With orange, squirrel's tail did glow, and brown on fir trees he let flow. For beauty's sake, with steady hand he placed red lanterns cross the land. Then just a touch of black so neat, a crow's dark wing looked sharp and sweet. But suddenly, oh what a sight! The colors spilled left and right. The world began to swirl and gleam. And thus, it woke from winter's dream. For spring had come, so bright, so new, and all because of Bunny's hue. Animals are sleeping. The first little finger, a bear asleep on a soft bed in his cozy keep. The second, ducks in the willow hide resting gently side by side. The third, a wolf in his burrow stays quietly dreaming through the days. The fourth, mosquitoes on leaves so light, settling softly for the night. The fifth, a bunny with ears so long snuggles up warm where he belongs. Sleep well, dear animals, rest your heads, tuck in tight on your comfy beds. Little bunnies. To the meadow, green and bright, by the maple in soft sunlight, the first bunny hops along, the second grabs a carrot strong. The third one munches on a berry, the fourth takes a basket to carry. The fifth one throws a tiny stone, and who listened? Well done, you've grown. 5 butterflies. 5 butterflies in the air, landed on daisies fair. The first one flutters wings so bright, the second sings with pure delight. The third one checks a mirror small, the fourth eats candy, that is all. The fifth one ties a ribbon neat and tells a story, oh so sweet. 5 butterflies sat in a row, then off they flew, away they go. The Hedgehog and the Bunny. The little hedgehog gathered a full basket of apples and pears. As he climbed up the hill he stumbled. The basket fell, rolled away, and the apples tumbled down. The hedgehog sat down and began to cry. A bunny was walking along the path. Why are you crying, hedgehog? He asked. My apples rolled away, the hedgehog sniffled. What will I feed my little ones? Don't cry, I'll share my carrots with you. This year we had a great harvest. The bunny invited the hedgehog to his home and filled a basket full of carrots. The hedgehog was truly grateful to his kind friend. Naughty Little Bunny by Olga Kobylska. One day Bunny hopped around through the snowy, frosty ground. He was hungry, tummy bare, nothing yet to eat was there. Past the badger's house he went, where an icy path was bent. Icicles hung in a row, shining in the sun's soft glow. Oh, how tempting they did seem, frozen carrots like a dream. Bunny knew he shouldn't dare, but he took a bite right there. Soon the snowfall filled the wood, everything was white and stood. But poor Bunny felt unwell, his sore throat began to swell. For a week he stayed in bed, sniffles, cough, and aching head. Little bunnies, learn today, icicles are not for play. The Tale of the Little Bunnies Who Love Their Mom, by Olga Kobylska. In the heart of a deep forest, on a flower-filled meadow, stood a cozy little house. It was home to the bunny family, Daddy Bunny, Mommy Bunny, and their two little kids, the bunny siblings. The little bunnies were well-behaved, ate their meals happily, and helped tidy up the house because they loved their mom dearly and never wanted her to feel sad. "You know, tomorrow is Mom's birthday," one bunny said to their sibling early one morning. "What should we do to celebrate her?" "We need a gift, but what kind of gift?" they both wondered. "I've got it," one of them exclaimed. "Let's go to Dandelion Meadow, there are so many strawberries there." "That's a great idea. And let's also gather some daisies and bluebells to make a beautiful bouquet." Excited, the little bunnies grabbed their baskets and hopped quickly along the path toward the neighboring meadow. The day was sunny, the flowers had opened their vibrant petals, and the red strawberries glistened under the sun's warm rays. The bunnies filled their baskets with sweet, ripe strawberries and even enjoyed a few themselves. They played tag with butterflies and had a jumping contest with the grasshoppers. By evening, when it was time to go home, the bunnies made a stunning bouquet of white daisies and bluebells, decorating it with bright red poppies. "I think Mom will love it," one bunny said, admiring the bouquet and the shiny red strawberries. The next morning, when Mommy Bunny woke up, she was pleasantly surprised to find a gorgeous bouquet of flowers and a bowl of strawberries sparkling with fresh morning dew on the table. Her heart filled with joy, and she hugged her little ones tightly, grateful for their thoughtful surprise.
In a land of dreams and skies so blue, where flowers bloom in every hue, there lived sweet fairies bright and kind, with gentle hearts and clever minds. One fairy planted blossoms fair, another painted scenes with care. One loved birds and furry friends, another wrote songs with rhyming ends. Some liked cooking, some liked sewing, some built castles with bricks so knowing, some picked berries in forest shade, while others worked in fields they made. Some clever fairy, full of cheer, designed hot air balloons to steer, or crafted ships with sails and steam, inventors chasing every dream. Some shaped clay with hands so neat, some baked bread and treats to eat, some printed books with tales inside. This magic land was full of pride. There were towns of fairy grace, each one brought joy to every place. They all enjoyed delicious treats, and gathered flowers sweet to eat. Apples, honey, grapes so bright, milk and nectar, pure delight. But nothing made them quite as glad as a glass of lemonade, oh how rad.
The Tale of the Hamster Who Loved Sewing Clothes Part 4. The Swimming Suit by Olga Kobylska. In a magical forest filled with extraordinary animals, there lived a hamster who loved to sew and craft. Many forest creatures came to him to have beautiful clothes made, boots repaired, or new accessories created. Just recently, the Fox sisters had requested lace skirts, and only yesterday, Uncle Boar had ordered sturdy jeans after reading about their durability. The hamster was known not only for his skill but also for his attention to the wishes of his clients. He made garments not just practical but also exceptionally stylish. Even the oddest requests were met with patience and dedication. One day, as the hamster was busy at his sewing machine, a gentle knock came at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Come in, please, he called without looking up. A soft voice greeted him from the doorway. Good day to you. It was Morka the cat, who entered and gracefully settled into a chair opposite the sewing table. The hamster set down his fabric and studied his guest. How can I help you today? A new outfit, perhaps? Morka, a regular client, usually ordered light summer dresses or warm stockings for winter. But this time her request took the hamster by surprise. Master Hamster, she began shyly, recently, everyone in the forest was talking about how you helped River Crayfish achieve his dream. Remember the silk parachute you crafted for his grand flight? Of course, the hamster nodded. It's hard to forget the sight of him soaring over the forest. Do you have a dream too? How can I help? Morka hesitated, then admitted, everyone knows that we cats are swift runners, excellent climbers, and have remarkable eyesight. But there's one thing we can't do and are even afraid of: water. The hamster nodded thoughtfully. And how can I assist you with that? Please sew me a swimming suit, Morka pleaded. One that will protect my paws and back from the water. My dream is to learn how to swim. The hamster pondered the challenge. It was no small task. But when he saw the hope in Morka's eyes, he knew he had to try. If River Crayfish could fly, why can't Morka learn to swim? He declared confidently. Morka jumped from her seat in excitement. Really? You think it's possible? I'll do my best, the hamster assured her. But first we'll need to consult the duck at the forest lake. Together they set off to visit the duck, whose cozy home lay among the reeds. After their consultation, the hamster got to work. He found an old magazine with swimsuit patterns, visited the library for diagrams of flippers, and wrote to his old friend, Rat, in the neighboring town, to request waterproof fabric. The preparations were a collective effort, and soon the day of Morka's swimming suit trial arrived. The news spread quickly, and many animals gathered at the lake to watch. Morka put on the suit, fastened all the straps, and attached the flippers crafted by the hamster. Supported by the beaver rescuers, she cautiously stepped into the water. First one paw, then another. Soon she was in up to her neck, protected by the waterproof collar. With the beaver's guidance, Morka practiced moving her paws in the flippers. She was a quick learner. After just 10 minutes, she began to swim on her own. Imagine it, a cat confidently swimming across the lake. Her eyes sparkled with joy, and the animals on the shore burst into applause. After completing another lap, Morka removed her flippers and ran to hug the hamster tightly. Thank you so much. You're a true magician. You don't just sew, you make dreams come true. The tale of Morka's extraordinary swim spread far and wide, while the hamster returned to his sewing machine, happily crafting clothes, the work he loved most.
There once lived a hedgehog small, but not an ordinary one at all. He wore a cap quite odd to see, not too bright yet not too wee. That cap held a magic trick, covered ears and stayed on thick. And when he wore it on his crown, it could vanish all around. He'd go walking, none could see, helping folks quite secretly. As soon as morning light would gleam, he'd grab his cap with cheerful beam, put on his little jacket tight, and step outside with pure delight. Through the forest, field, and glade, helping creatures unafraid. Now the days grew cold and white, snow was sparkling in the light. Down a snowy path he strode, wearing mittens, coat well sewed. Between the branches small and bare, he saw a bunny in despair. "What's the matter?" Hedgehog said. Bunny's eyes were full of dread. "My bowl rolled down toward the stream. It's lost beneath the icy gleam. The ice is thin, it's not yet strong, and I've been chasing it too long." Hedgehog didn't waste a beat, covered up from head to feet. Grabbed a branch both long and neat, aimed with care and hands discreet. Whack! The bowl came flying back to the bunny's waving track. Bunny squealed and hugged it tight, then bounced off with pure delight. On went Hedgehog through the snow, humming as he'd always go. Soon he saw a squirrel near, with a flute held to her ear. "I want to play the squirrel side, but don't know where the holes all hide." She turned it round, then gave a yawn, set it down and sat withdrawn. Hedgehog smiled and donned his cap, took the flute with gentle tap, shifted it with skillful paw, pressed her hand without a flaw. Squirrel blinked, then gave a blow, and music swirled through drifts of snow. Such a melody so bright, danced through woods in morning light. "To my parents I will run, tell them playing is such fun," said the squirrel filled with cheer, and hopped off with joy sincere. Down the path our hedgehog trotted, in his cap that magic plotted. When he saw a little wolf shivering by the snowy gulf, Wolf was crying, tail held tight. It got stuck with all his might. Twigs had caught it in a snare, pulling, tugging, full of care. But he couldn't move a bit, neither twist nor proper sit. In a flash the cap went on. Hedgehog moved the branch with brawn, loosed the tail and pulled it free. Wolf jumped up, as glad as can be. Wagging now, he cried with glee, "Tail is safe, just look at me." Off he dashed through snow and tree, with his paws all full of speed. On went Hedgehog whistling light, always ready to make things right. With his magic cap in hand, he brings help across the land. Goodness grows when hearts are kind, that's where spells their power find. Not from wands or mighty might, but from doing what is right.
There once lived a hedgehog small, but not an ordinary one at all. He wore a cap quite odd to see, not too bright yet not too wee. That cap held a magic trick, covered ears and stayed on thick. And when he wore it on his crown, he could vanish all around. He'd go walking none could see, helping folks quite secretly. As soon as morning light would gleam, he'd grab his cap with cheerful beam, put on his little jacket tight, and step outside with pure delight. Through the forest, field, and glade, helping creatures unafraid. Now the days grew cold and white, snow was sparkling in the light. Down a snowy path he strode, wearing mittens, coat well sewed. Between the branches small and bare, he saw Bunny in despair. "What's the matter?" Hedgehog said. Bunny's eyes were full of dread. My ball rolled down toward the stream. It's lost beneath the icy gleam. The ice is thin, it's not yet strong, and I've been chasing it too long. Hedgehog didn't waste a beat, covered up from head to feet. Grabbed a branch both long and neat, aimed with care and hands discreet. Whack! The ball came flying back to the bunny's waiting track. Bunny squealed and hugged it tight, then bounced off with pure delight. On went Hedgehog through the snow, humming as he'd always go. Soon he saw a squirrel near, with the flute held to her ear. "I want to play the squirrel side, but don't know where the holes all hide." She turned it round and gave a yawn, set it down and sat withdrawn. Hedgehog smiled and donned his cap, took the flute with gentle tap, shifted it with skillful paw, pressed her hand without a flaw. Squirrel blinked then gave a blow, and music swirled through drifts of snow. Such a melody, so bright, danced through woods in morning light. "To my parents I will run, tell them playing is such fun," said the squirrel filled with cheer, and hopped off with joy sincere. Down the path our hedgehog trotted, in his cap that magic plotted, when he saw a little wolf shivering by the snowy gulf. Wolf was crying, tail held tight, it got stuck with all his might. Twigs it caught it in a snare, pulling, tugging, full of care. But he couldn't move a bit, neither twist nor proper sit. In a flash the cap went on, hedgehog moved the branch with brawn, loosed the tail and pulled it free. Wolf jumped up as glad as can be. "What do you now?" he cried with glee. "Tail is safe, just look at me." Off he dashed through snow and tree, with his paws all full of speed. On went hedgehog whistling light, always ready to make things right. With his magic cap in hand, he brings help across the land. Goodness grows when hearts are kind, that's where spells their power find. Not from wands or mighty might, but from doing what is right.
The Snowman and the Tangerines by Olga Kobylska. In one snow-covered city, a Christmas tree stood decorated for the New Year's festivities. A week earlier, people had celebrated the New Year, and to avoid cutting down a young tree, they decided to decorate the one growing in their courtyard. They hung garlands, attached sparkling ornaments, and draped tinsel all around. Luckily, a light snow had fallen, and the fluffy snowflakes rested on the green branches, enhancing the beauty of the New Year decorations. The children made a small snowman, placed a hat on his head, gave him a carrot nose and coal eyes, and he turned out so funny, standing there with a cheerful smile. At night, when the children had gone home and lights gradually went out in the windows, the snowman came to life. He would take a broom, shake the snow off the tree branches, straighten the New Year decorations, and wander through the streets, admiring the city's architecture. One day, the snowman decided to take a walk outside the city. During the day, he had overheard the children talking about a forest just beyond the city where animals lived. The snowman was very eager to meet a rabbit or a squirrel, so he decided to look for someone along the forest trails. As soon as he reached the outskirts, he saw a bench covered in snow with a bag full of bright orange spheres. "Interesting," thought the snowman. "Who could have left tangerines here? They'll freeze in this cold." The moon shone brightly, and the frost made the snow crunch underfoot. The snowman picked up the tangerines and decided to share them with the forest animals he might meet along the way. He walked along the snowy forest paths, studying the tracks left by the animals. Suddenly, he came upon a large clearing where, at the center, another Christmas tree stood, adorned with small lanterns. Underneath it, foxes were dancing in a circle, singing New Year songs. "Oh, what beautiful foxes! They're the same color as tangerines," the snowman exclaimed with delight. One fox noticed the unexpected guest, approached him and greeted him. "Hello, snowman. Where did you come from, and how did you find your way to our land?" The snowman told her he had come from the city and offered the foxes the tangerines. They had never tasted anything like it before, and they wondered on what kind of trees such delicious fruit could grow. The snowman explained that in spring, they could plant the seeds from the tangerines and grow trees that would bear these tasty fruits. But in winter, tangerine trees need to be wrapped up warmly so they don't freeze. The foxes were thrilled to meet the snowman. They invited him to join their New Year's dance and taught him some festive songs. In the morning, when the children came outside to play, they were astonished to find a large bag of carrots next to the snowman under the tree. It turned out that the foxes, as a sign of gratitude, had sent gifts to the city. And somewhere in the dense forest, by springtime, young tangerine sprouts began to grow, carefully tended by two foxes in orange fur coats.
Once there lived a little goose, Gavrilo was his name. He set off to the village store for soap, that was his aim. He put on his cap just right, wrapped a scarf around his neck. "If I get my feet all muddy, I'll wash them off, no heck." Through the forest off he went, past the oaks and maple trees. When he saw a tiny spider swinging gently in the breeze. "Hello there," said the goose. "How's it going, friend of mine?" "Glad to see you," said the spider. "Come for coffee when you've time." "On my way back," said the goose, flapping wings with cheer. And he wandered down a path where fir trees grow so near. To the lake he briskly walked, proudly stepping wide. When beneath a leafy bush a little frog he spied. "Could you help me, goosey dear?" asked the frog, quite sad. "My paper plane is stuck up high, I can't reach it, I'm too bad." "Here you go," said Goose with care, handing down the toy. The froglet beamed and hopped around, so full of giddy joy. Through the meadows he then strolled, where the grasses swayed. When he heard a funny song from wheat that softly played. There upon a tree so tall sat a lark all gray. "I'd love a pair," the lark did sigh, "but they're too green today." "Don't you worry," Goose replied. "To help I always try. I'll bring you pears all ripe and sweet before the sun says bye." Near wildflowers bright and small hid a tiny mouse. "Hey dear friend, I brought you this, a pine cone from the house." Bumblebees and beetles bounced in games among the daisies. Spiders wove their webs anew, their threads were strong and crazy. All the creatures in the land, no Gavrilo gentle-hearted, they all wave or flap their wings when he gets the journey started. Now the city's noise and din, so many sounds and faces. "Are you shopping?" chirped the sparrow, perched on poles and places. "Yes," said Gavrilo with a smile, "for something clean and nice. I need to buy a bar of soap, maybe 4 or 5 will suffice." While I walk through woods and fields, over hills and tree roots, I got dirt on beak and feet, and even on my boots. Sparrow kindly showed the way to the village shop. Goose took 5 bars of the best, he didn't plan to stop. Now you know why geese are white and never smell too foul. They bathe with soap both day and night, from beak to tail to jowl. Now you know why geese are white and never smell too foul.
The Tale of the Hamster Who Loves Sewing Clothes Part 3. The Silk Parachute Author, Olga Kobylska. In a magical land where animals could talk and had extraordinary superpowers, there lived a hamster. Everyone in the forest knew where his cozy house was, nestled in a green, spacious meadow. Many animals came to place orders with him because the hamster, who loved sewing clothes, was a true master. He could sew any outfit to perfection, be it sportswear for the rabbit family, festive dresses for Aunt Wild Boar, or tiny hats for the Snail sisters. The hamster was also skilled at making fine shoes and knitting mittens, truly a jack of all trades. One morning, as usual, the hamster was working at his sewing machine. A deer had requested a new waterproof cloak to keep warm during the rainy season. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. "Does the famous master hamster live here?" someone softly asked from outside. "Come in," called the hamster, not looking up from his work. "It's open." The door creaked open, but no one entered. "Please do come in," the hamster invited again. "Who's there? Where are you?" He glanced around. No one was in sight. Curious, the hamster got up from his table and stepped into the hallway. He quickly understood why his guest hadn't entered. The visitor was a crab. Slowly shuffling along, the crab was carefully making his way toward the house. "Good day to you," greeted the visitor. "All is well," the hamster reassured the crab. "Take your time, come right into the living room." At last, the crab entered and settled onto a chair. "What brings you here? Do you have an order for me?" asked the hamster. "Yes," nodded the crab. "But please don't be surprised." The hamster, being an experienced craftsman, was hard to astonish. The crab began his tale. "I have a dream to fly. Yes, you heard me right, to fly. I know it sounds odd as I have no wings, but I recently read a book about how parachutes can help you experience the beauty of flight. Could you help me by sewing a parachute?" The hamster's jaw dropped for a moment, but he quickly regained his composure. "While I've never seen a crab descending from the sky with a parachute," he said, "why not give it a try? I'll help you. I'll sew the best parachute in the world." The crab, filled with joy, slowly made his way home, knowing that in 5 days his dream of flying would come true. The hamster approached the task with great care. He read numerous books, studied various patterns, and found high-quality silk, the ideal material for making parachutes. Then he began his work. 5 days later, all the animals in that part of the forest gathered to witness the extraordinary event. News of the crab's upcoming parachute test had spread far and wide. The deer and the rabbits volunteered to help the crab realize his dream. They carefully hoisted him onto the deer's back, along with the brand-new parachute, complete with straps and cords. Together with the hamster and other animals, they climbed a hill, the chosen spot for the flight. To ensure safety, a large stack of hay was placed at the base of the hill, and the beaver rescue team stood ready with a stretched-out tarp. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The crab strapped on the parachute pack, fastened all the buckles, took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and jumped off the hill. Everyone held their breath as the crab plummeted downward, swiftly deploying the parachute. Pop! The vibrant silk canopy unfurled above him. "Hurrah!" the animals cheered. The hamster, rabbits, and deer clapped their paws with delight. "The crab is flying! What a miracle!" The crab glided peacefully through the air, like a bird, marveling at the breathtaking views stretching to the horizon. He felt overjoyed, his cherished dream finally realized. Believe it or not, with determination and effort, you too can make any dream come true. And the hamster, who loves sewing clothes and crafting all sorts of things, will always be there to lend a hand.
Hop, hop, here comes Bunny's feet. Drip, drop, rain begins to beat. To keep his long ears nice and dry, he grabs his umbrella, oh so spry. Splash, splash, a stream begins to flow. Bunny hop, he jumps up high, you know. Though thunder rumbles loud and strong, his paws stay dry, he sings along. Tweet, tweet, a sparrow takes a seat. Buzz, 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 hide that bee so sweet. Bunny with his brolly takes the lead, saving friends from every rainy bee. A boat was sailing on the lake, giddy rolled with every shake. The cat caught fish, a tasty prize. They shared the meal with happy sighs. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is rowing on the lake today. Kitty rolls, he ought to ride today. Kitty lifts the water right, turns the boat with all her might. Cat lifts up his fishing pole, casts the line with perfect goal. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is rowing on the lake today. Kitty lifts the oar so high, now the boat has stopped nearby. On the line the cat can see a golden fish caught happily. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is rowing on the lake today. On the lake today. On the lake today. Summer dew is fading fast, apricots are ripe at last. Kitty shakes the drops away, munches fruit all through the day. Yum yum, what a treat, these don't sting my kitty sweet. Apricots so soft, so sweet, like little sods you love to eat. They rolled away into the grass, I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat, these don't sting my kitty sweet. Apricots so soft, so sweet, like little sods you love to eat. They rolled away into the grass, I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat, bees don't sting my kitty sweet. They rolled away into the grass, I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat, bees don't sting my kitty sweet.
Hop, hop, here comes Bunny's feet. Drip, drop, rain begins to beat. To keep his long ears nice and dry, he grabs his umbrella, oh so spry. Splash, splash, a stream begins to flow. Bunny hop, he jumps up high, you know. Though thunder rumbles loud and strong, his paws stay dry, he sings along. Tweet, tweet, a sparrow takes a seat. Buzz, 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 hide that bee so sweet. Bunny with his brolly takes the lead, saving friends from every rainy bead.
A boat was sailing on the lake, Kitty rode with every shake. The cat caught fish, a tasty prize. They shared the meal with happy sighs. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is rowing on the lake today. Kitty rows the oar to right, turns the boat with all her might. Cat lifts up his fishing pole, casts the line with perfect goal. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is
sparkle happily. Splash, splash, the water sings away. A ginger kid is rolling on the lake today. Summer dew thin fast, apricots are ripe at last. Kitty shakes the drops away, munches fruit all through the day. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet. Apricots so soft, so sweet, like little sons you love to eat. They rolled away into the grass, I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet. I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet. Beady dough is thin fast, apricots are ripe at last. Kitty shakes the drops away, munches fruit all through the day. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet. Apricots so soft, so sweet, like little sons you love to eat. They rolled away into the grass, I'll pick them up in my small glass. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet. Yum yum, what a treat! Bees don't sting like it is sweet.
African kindergarten. I'm a little hippo, see, with a belly round and free. I splash and play with my bright ball, swim in lakes, oh, what a call. I'm a baby elephant, mom and dad say I'm well-mannered. My big ears may catch your eye, but I won't hurt a little fly. I'm a zebra, black and white, with a mane that's short and light. Wore a dress that looks so new, now I'm ready, off I go. I'm a little spotted giraffe, wore a necklace, what a laugh. My neck is long, just like my kin, tall and proud, let's dance and spin. I'm a fluffy ostrich chick, fast and playful, quick and slick. Kicking balls and having fun, scoring goals, a game well done. Now, dear friends, let's take a stand, join our paws and in hand, side by side, let's march in sync to our kindergarten quick. Balls. Some balls were placed into a basket. It was their first meeting, so they began to introduce themselves. I'm made of leather and I'm a football. I'm used for playing soccer, said the first one. I'm leather too, but much lighter because I fly through the air, introduced the volleyball. I was made heavy to make it easier to score through the hoop, said the basketball. And I'm just an ordinary rubber ball. Kids play many fun games with me like dodgeball, hot potato, and others. Which ball do you like the most? By Olga Kobylska. The bees bought a ball, perched on a tree tall. Started a meeting, rules they were reading, how to play it right, games from day to night. A spider spun a net, on a flower it was set. A stork with grace and care gave safety tips to share. The game soon began, dust rose as they ran. Bees played with delight, tossing the ball in flight. If you score a goal, a raspberry's your toll. The sun shone so bright, a jackdaw joined the fight. Can I play along, tossing the ball so strong? Yes, of course, come play. Score a point today. A butterfly flew in with pretzels for a win. Take a snack or two, strength will carry you. Larks on branches high flapped their wings to try. They played basketball, then switched to volleyball. The ball bounced around as the sun went down. A mosquito came by with a lantern held high. He called his brother too. Can we play with you? The moon and stars so bright played with beetles all night. And little flies, how sweet, brought doughnuts to eat. Time to end the day, come and eat, hooray. The bees, tired and glad, rested on a log they had. Such a game, what fun. Joy for everyone. The Tale of the Little Duckling by Olga Kobylska. Mama Duck had a brood of ducklings. The ducklings were lively and cheerful, always chirping and constantly hungry. Like tiny fluffy yellow balls, they darted across the green grass. It seemed as if bright dandelion blossoms had rolled among the leaves. Mama Duck taught them how to pick the right food and clean their little beaks. When the ducklings grew older and their feathers came in, Mama Duck led them to the river. One little duckling, however, got distracted by a butterfly and fell behind its brothers and sisters. At first, the duckling ran after the colorful butterfly for a long time. Then it got fascinated by a stag beetle. After that, it wandered off to watch a frog jumping competition. Just then, Mama Duck found the little duckling and gently said, "You mustn't wander off without me." Bunny and the Umbrella by Olga Kobylska. Hop hop, Bunny's on his way. Drip drop, raindrops start to play. To keep his ears all warm and dry, he grabbed an umbrella, held it high. Flish splash, a stream began to flow. Bunny jumped, onto a stump he'd go. Though thunder roared and rumbled wide, his paws stayed dry, his face was bright. Chirp chirp, a sparrow found a tree. Bits bits bits, a bee said, "Shelter me." Bunny walked on so proud and true, saving friends from raindrops too. Animals are sleeping. The first little finger, a bear asleep on a soft bed in his cozy keep. The second, ducks in the willow hide, resting gently side by side. The third, a wolf in his burrow stays, quietly dreaming through the days. The fourth, mosquitoes on leaves so light, settling softly for the night. The fifth, a bunny with ears so long, snuggles up warm where he belongs. Sleep well, dear animals, rest your heads, tuck in tight on your comfy beds. Little bunnies. To the meadow, green and bright, by the maple in soft sunlight, the first bunny hops along, the second grabs a carrot strong. The third one munches on a berry, the fourth takes a basket to carry. The fifth one throws a tiny stone, and who listened? Well done, you've grown. 5 butterflies. 5 butterflies in the air, landed on daisies fair. The first one flutters wings so bright, the second sings with pure delight. The third one checks a mirror small, the fourth eats candy, that is all. The fifth one ties a ribbon neat and tells a story, oh so sweet. 5 butterflies sat in a row, then off they flew, away they go. The Tale of the Hamster Who Loved Sewing Clothes. Part 1. The Striped Overalls by Olga Kobylska. In a magical kingdom, there lived extraordinary creatures. Every insect, fish, or animal had some kind of special ability. Some could paint beautifully, others were incredibly strong, and some could fly high into the sky or dive to great depths. But the hamster, whose house stood on the edge of the forest, had a unique talent. He could sew exceptionally beautiful clothes that suited anyone perfectly. So perfectly, in fact, that when someone wore a jacket or skirt made by the hamster, they became the most handsome or beautiful creature around. This morning, the hamster was hard at work at his sewing machine. He was crafting a new coat for the fox, adding golden velvet accents between pieces of soft, orange fur. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. "Come in," the hamster called out without looking up from his work. "It's open." "Good day," said a deep voice. At the open door stood a horse, much taller than the hamster. He couldn't fit through the doorway, so he simply peeked inside. "Is this the home of the famous clothing master? Did I come to the right place?" "If you're looking for high-quality, comfortable, and elegant clothing, then yes, you're exactly where you need to be," the hamster replied, carefully setting the fox's coat aside and rising from his chair. "Are you here to update your wardrobe?" "Yes," the horse nodded. "I'd like to order overalls, bright ones, so that I'm easily visible when I run." The hamster, an experienced tailor who had met many quirky customers, wasn't particularly surprised. "All right," he agreed. "Let's take your measurements and choose some fabric." The hamster brought out a ladder, quickly measured the horse, and jotted down all the necessary details in his notebook. Choosing the fabric. Picking out the fabric and its color took quite a while. It turned out the horse truly wanted something extraordinary. Recently, he had watched a program about life in Africa, and now he wanted to resemble one of his distant relatives. Though the hamster gently tried to convince the horse to choose a less flashy pattern, the horse was firm in his decision. A week later, when the overalls were ready, the horse eagerly tried them on. Once every button and zipper was securely fastened, the hamster handed him a mirror to admire the final result. Truth be told, the hamster had never created anything quite like this before and was a little worried about whether the horse would be pleased with his order. The horse approached the mirror, carefully examined himself, turned this way and that, even looked at his back. Then suddenly he burst into happy laughter. "Yes," the horse exclaimed joyfully. "This is exactly what I wanted. Hamster, you're a genius." The happy horse walked home with his head held high, proudly wearing his snug, striped overalls. So now, when animals in the area see a striped horse, they don't wonder if a zebra has somehow wandered into their woods. They know it's just the horse showing off his bright new outfit. Loved Sewing Clothes Part 2. The Pink Coat by Olga Kobylska. In an enchanted forest filled with animals with extraordinary talents lived Master Hamster. His fame as a skilled tailor crafting comfortable and elegant clothing spread far beyond the dense woods, flowing along rivers and across fields. Many animals sought his expertise. Even Grandpa Bear came to order a new winter hat to keep his ears warm, while graceful squirrels requested vests with big pockets to store their nuts, and even ladybugs stopped by for a shiny new raincoat. The hamster, who loved sewing clothes, always understood his customers' needs and worked tirelessly to deliver his very best. That morning, as usual, he sat at his sewing machine hemming a pair of trousers for the Wolf family. Their eldest son, Little Wolf, had snagged them climbing trees. Knock, 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 came a sound at the door. "Come in," Hamster called out. "It's open." At the door appeared Long Pink Ears. It was Bunny Girl, here to order a new outfit. "Greetings." Hamster got up from his chair and walked over. "Please come in." He guided her to the workshop. "Oh, how fascinating!" Bunny exclaimed, admiring the coats, suits, and evening dresses displayed around the room. "Would you like to order something?" asked Hamster. "Yes, I would," Bunny nodded enthusiastically. "My birthday is coming up and I want something festive and grand. Would that be a dress? Or maybe a beautiful cape?" "I'm not sure," Bunny said, shrugging her shoulders. Then her eyes lit up as they landed on a coat. "I want a coat, a pink one. Like this," she pointed, "but pink." Hamster wasn't surprised by the request. He'd seen it all during his career. "A coat? A pink coat," he clarified. "Are you sure?" "Yes. I think it will be exquisite and elegant." Bunny was hopping with delight. imagining how she would look in her pink coat. Very well, Master Hamster agreed. On Bunny's birthday, she was dressed in a light, fluffy pink coat. Though the look was quite unusual at first glance, Bunny was so charming and adorable that the pink coat suited her perfectly. All the guests admired her magical new outfit. 2 weeks passed. The hamster who loved sewing clothes was back to his favorite craft. This time he was cutting fabric for a new swimsuit for the Frog sisters. Suddenly there was a knock at the door, and once again long pink ears appeared in the room. Master Hamster wasn't surprised. In fact, he had been expecting Bunny to return. "Is something wrong?" he asked. "Yes," Bunny sighed. "I came to ask if you could dye my coat another color, maybe gray." She sat down on a chair and began to explain. "You see, pink is my favorite color. But it's too bright. First, a fox started chasing me and I barely escaped. Then village dogs took to following me everywhere. And yesterday, a wolf chased me for hours. Luckily, Uncle Bear came to my rescue. I have to part with this beauty." Hamster dyed Bunny's coat a plain gray. Now Bunny could roam the forest in peace. But all the woodland animals still remember the long-eared beauty in her dazzling pink coat. How Bunny Played with Paints by Olga Kobylska. When winter ruled and snow lay deep, a snowy canvas, white and steep, a playful bunny full of cheer brought his paints and hopped up near. He thought, "I'll paint the forest bright and fill the world with colors light." With green he brushed the oaks so tall their leaves grew fresh, no cold at all. With blue, beneath the trees so wide, sparkling gems woke up with pride. A rosy hue, dawn's gentle light broke through the dark of starry night. The golden sun then sent its rays, smiling through the cloudy haze. With orange, squirrel's tail did glow, and brown on fir trees he let flow. For beauty's sake, with steady hand he placed red lanterns cross the land. Then just a touch of black so neat, a crow's dark wing looked sharp and sweet. But suddenly, oh what a sight! The colors spilled left and right. The world began to swirl and gleam. And thus it woke from winter's dream. For spring had come, so bright, so new, and all because of Bunny's hue.